in the shot.
Okay.
Steve Garfield, author of Get Seen, Online Video Secrets to Building Your Business.
Okay.
So the iPhone 4 has this problem. If you hold it in your left hand in a certain way, the bars drop down and then you lose your signal. And I've seen this on an iPhone. I held one and it had full 4 bars. I held the phone in my left hand and the bars went down. So that is the problem. I have an order in for an iPhone 4, and as I ordered it, I saw on the web all the news about the different problems, and basically the problems can be solved by putting a case on the iPhone. And I currently have an iPhone 3GS and I have a case on it, and I think most people like to put cases on their iPhone. So if you put a case on the iPhone 4, that covers up where the problem is with your hand, so it's not going to be a problem for me. I think it's crazy for Consumer Reports to just discount all the great things about the iPhone 4 just because of this one small issue, which really can be fixed. So if people buy the iPhone 4 and they put a case on it or any one of these other fixes, they're not going to have the problem. So I don't see how you could recommend that no one buys the iPhone 4 when the problem is something that can be solved. One thing that I like is that people can share stories and capture moments with video with a device they have in their pocket. So that's a cell phone. And if people have a cell phone and they can record video, if something happens, they can think, I can record video with that right now. So that's pretty cool. That's something that I talk about all the time. But what's kind of a breakthrough with the iPhone 4 is that they'd be able to record HD video on the iPhone and edit it with iMovie, an editing program, and then share it online. So instead of having to go home and plug it into a computer, like with a flip camera, they can share it from the device that they record on, and that's kind of a big breakthrough.
That's about that.
So there's a two-way camera, and they call it FaceTime, where you can have a video call between you and someone remotely, and people who use computers and use programs like Skype can do those two-way video calls just on their computers with a webcam. So the big thing here is that you'll be able to do it wherever you are with your cell phone. The only stipulation is, though, it only works on Wi-Fi. So you can't use it with the cell plan that you have.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, you need to be on a Wi-Fi connection to do that. And as the cell phone networks are able to handle more data, they might allow you to use the cell phone network to do it, but I think the network's pretty bogged up right now, so you have to be on a Wi-Fi connection to be able to have a two-way connection. Other cell phone manufacturers are catching up to Apple. They saw what they did and how successful they've been, and you mentioned the Droid X. That's coming out very soon, and that has a lot of features that the iPhone 4 has, and even some features that are better. So some people who don't like the carrier having to be tied to AT&T and they want to be on Verizon, that's probably the phone that they're going to get. Maybe they're on a corporate plan that only supports Verizon and they want an iPhone 4, but now here's an alternative that's very close to what the iPhone 4 does, with maybe even a little better camera. Apple is great because they're giving you, the user, kind of a protected environment. And that's why Apple is great, because on the Mac, you don't have a lot of problems that you might have in Windows, and Windows has gone through some pretty poor operating systems, like Vista was a nightmare, and when you move over to the Mac, it's so easy to use, and I think the Mac got a lot of people buying it because of iPods and the music players. So people were introduced to how easy Apple makes things by the iPod, and they're, wow, this is so easy as a music player, let me check out the computer. And then people bought iMacs and Macs, and then they did the same thing with the phone. Wow, this is so simple, how to use a phone, and I can get my internet on here, and a web browser that looks exactly like the internet. So they just remove all barriers to entry. Like, it's so easy for you to move into the Apple line. So that's why I think a lot of people will discount the Consumer Reports negative review and just get an iPhone anyways, because they know if they look at it that they'll just add a case to it or use a different way to get around the problem of the antenna.
So if there, and this is probably too.
So here's my iPhone, and it has a case. Most iPhone users use cases, and I think that'll be the same for the iPhone 4. The iPhone comes with earbuds, which you just plug in to the iPhone, and then you plug these into your ear, and you don't have to touch the phone when you're on a call, so you won't have the antenna problem. Who had the duct tape? Duct tape is a solution. Did Consumer Reports say duct tape? If they did, you could just take a piece of duct tape, which is the best thing, everybody has it, and cover the little connection so your hand wouldn't touch the antenna. That's a simple fix.
Let me ask you about that simple fix. I mean, would you, given that it's this sleek, beautiful, elegant device,
right?
Would you seriously think about going with the duct tape solution as opposed to the other ones you're talking about?
I think cool kids who are cool might use duct tape because they're making wallets and suit coats out of duct tape. It might, be cool to have duct tape on your iPhone 4. The one thing that most people are doing is getting these iPhone 4 bumpers. This is just a plastic bumper that goes around the iPhone 4 and will cover up the edges. So I already ordered my iPhone 4 and the bumpers came first. Now this final one is the old standby headset, which I ordered off of Amazon, and here it has a jack to put in any cell phone really, but to put in the iPhone. So I'll just use this and stick it in my iPhone, and I'll be cool walking around with my headphone, and I won't have an antenna problem.
Sort of like a steampunk kind of
exactly.
Yeah, very nice.
If people are interested in learning how to produce video off of their cell phones, my book, Get Seen, Online Video Secrets to Building Your Business, takes them step by step on how to produce video from things like cell phones. And they can find me on the web at stevegarfield.com.
I should actually pick up that